what I'm going to present first as a newcomer, it's the first log for me, and it's the first year EMC is member, although I believe in Lustre for a long time. And I have my anecdotal thing about why Lustre is becoming to be what it is today. And I have the example of Harvard University, when they put 5 years ago, they put new grass, and they didn't have any path. So I went there, so I said, where do I go? So I said, okay, I'm going straight. So what happened a year later, they put a path there. That's what happened to Lustre. I think that it's time.
Try the microphone.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, so I hope that this encourages you guys, because that's my belief. So, So as newcomers, we wanted to bring something to the table, and what we can bring to the table is the fact that we have a very powerful team of Linux kernel developers, and we're trying to help Lustre client. We're focusing on the Lustre client right now to kind of be accepted by as much as possible in the commercial markets and in the high performance computing. So what we did for that, first of all, we already found and fixed several bugs, including one which was needed for the spec SFS. So we had a lock problem, so we fixed that one too. So I think that we had a good start, and if you happen to have issues, we will be more than happy to take a look, and we are looking in the email list. We are very aggressive with the Lustre client work, and Peng Tao is our leader from Beijing, and he unfortunately couldn't be here to present to you because he just came back from LSF. So there are two major things that we started in this area. It's the cleanup of the Linux Lustre client to be accepted by the kernel developers and to become module in the kernel. And for example, we already have Dcache cleanup design was sent for review, and the same for LNet. Cleanup means not necessarily that it's dirty, but it's not acceptable for the kernel developers, the maintainers. So that's what it means. So the second step after that will be to port the Lustre client into the kernel for inclusion in the distros, which is probably important for all of you, because the more used, the community grows, and I hope that this will be our contribution. We also, me personally, are trying to deliver on a promise that was made a few years ago by myself and Peter Honeyman at some of the supercomputing, including one here, I think, in 2008, that we will extend the PNFS to have a special Lustre layout support, and we're working on this. I already presented this at IETF in Paris last month, and in principle was accepted in any case, I'm going to write the draft even if it's not accepted, but they had some caveats, which I'll talk a little bit about them. And the last thing, I'm trying to help the new created benchmark team, me being a member in the spec SFS committee, and I offered to include Lustre workload into the next release, which is called spec SFS 2013. And they will be made of multiple workloads. One of them will be Lustre, and in fact, I started already to test the benchmark and found a bug already, which was fixed. So I think those are the things that we're going to do. So just, I want to talk about the Linux Lustre client because there are some questions from you guys. So first of all, Lustre client, the kernel is helpful for users and the Lustre community. I hope that's true, right? It's not a statement, it's simply a quest, because we believe that that will help Lustre to prevail in other communities. The problem with the Linux Lustre code is that there are differences between the coding style, and the maintainers are very strict about that, so we'll have to address some of them. That's why we do this cleanup, the cleanup being only for the Linux code to be acceptable for the maintainers. And We presented this work at LSF last 2 weeks ago, and it was surprisingly well supported by many people. And of course, Lustre is complex, so the cleanup is not easy, and any contribution from you guys will be helpful. Of course, we have 3 people that work on this most of the time, but it's always useful to get comments, reviews, support from the community. Tell me when I'm... Okay.
He's going to give you a...
Okay, good, thanks. So some of the requirements that the kernel maintainers presented to us at LSF were, of course, I'm talking about the sane ones, not the ones that are totally against Lustre, because there are some of those too. So all kernel support is not allowed in the kernel, so that needs to be cleaned up. Different platform support is disliked by most attendees, except for Alviro, which is willing to accept some of those, and we will work with him to see if he can convince the others. Server code can be marked out with have server support, so that's a kind of a recommendation that they made. So, so the suggestions they made at LSF is, first of all, to put in a staging tree, which is a positive one, then and to be signed off. The steps that we need to do, huge patches to merge in staging 3 can be done and will help us continue the work. And please, if we do that, maybe if you can review, will be good. Lustre code in FS, small incremental patches to clean up. New feature patches are allowed, so get each piece of code properly signed off. That's more or less what I had. Thank you for listening, and I'm always willing for contribution, help, review of our code. Thank you. Can I have an answer, or can I?
Sure.
Yeah. No, if they allow me. Support. Yeah. So our plan. I had one more slide, but our plan is for the transition between until the code will be part of the distributions. We will support together with the community, of course, because there will be always some discrepancies between the Lustre client that's moving maybe faster than in the Warm Cloud 3 than the. So for the first 1 to 3 years, probably will be need. So we will offer the support for that. Yes. Yes, that's true. But for the first 3 years, we expect there will be some. For the first 3 until the kernel will take it over, probably yes, and we will. Yeah, I know that's. Well, we're trying to do this, and the point is that it will be much easier to increase the number of users if you have the Linux kernel.